Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Jeff, and this is BrickScale Studio, and another LEGO review is coming at you right now. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's good to see you back here. So today I have a build and review of the LEGO Ideas set, the A-frame cabin. Not to give too much away, this was a really fun set, lots of cool details, some really interesting building techniques. So let's get into the build and then we'll talk about it at the end. Okay, this is set number 21338. There are 2,082 pieces, and this is from the LEGO Ideas theme. So let's crack it open and get started. We have 15 bags plus an extra unnumbered bag. So this is a non-numbered bag. So I'm going to get all of these parts organized and I will be right back with you. All right, here's the book. Actually, we have two books. So let's take a look at book number 1. Some information about the LEGO VIP program, which is now the LEGO Insiders program. So we have some information on the concept of A-frame cabins. And then we have, since this is an idea set, it was designed by a fan. So we have Meet the Fan Designer. And then we have Meet the LEGO Designer. And then we get into the build. So let's get started. So it looks like we have our minifigures to do first. So here's our first minifigure. Looks like he's a backpacker. I do have a little backpack that I'll put on. But this is great. There's some different colored shirt and arm. And then we've got dual color legs. We've also got an alternate face print. So I'm going to put the backpack and his hair on. All right, so there is the first minifig. And we do have his backpack. We have a dual face. This one has a nice sweater detail on the upper torso. And there we go. All right, let's get started. These are the colors of the Italian flag. It's a cool little Easter egg. The fan designer who designed this set originally is from Italy. So this is a nice little homage to him. His name is Andrea Lenio. His username is Norton74 on LEGO Ideas if you want to look him up. But yeah, a cool little Easter egg. This won't be visible in the finished model, but a cool little nod to the designer. Okay, so that is it for bag 1. So it looks like we have the base of the cabin. One thing I will note is these two pieces were very interesting, how they clipped into this railing piece, but were kind of free floating until we put these support beams on there. That was, yeah, super interesting. And as I said, with the little Italian flag Easter egg, yeah, that will not be seen in the final model, but a pretty cool nod to the designer. So let's move on to bag number 2. So a little repetitive. We built 2 of the same pieces, repeating many of the same steps over and over. But I think this is going to look really neat because this is sort of forming a brick wall with these hammers. So it's a pretty cool technique. So we are just going to slide these right in here. And again, we're using these rail pieces with clips to secure this in. It's not being secured in with studs. Again, very interesting building technique. So that's just going to push in like so, and then this one is going to go in on this side. Just give those a push, make sure they're in there. All right, and that is what it looks like. Neat little way to make a brick wall. Rather than using these masonry bricks, we're using hammers. Okay, so that is the end of bag 2. And I will say, bag 2 was rather interesting, and it's very appropriately named bag 2 because literally everything we did in bag 2, we did twice. We built 2 of these. We built 2 of these. We built 2 of these. So bag 2 was all about 2s. So let's get into bag 3. And that is it for bag 3. So it looks like we're doing some of the interior here. There's some really cool print pieces. We have a Lego print piece sort of as a welcome mat. We have this cool little umbrella stand, and then this really neat like record player and cabinet. And then we get another one of these geode bricks like we got in the Natural History Museum. And then it looks like back here where we did the kitchen, maybe like a recycling area or something, I'm not real sure, and then the start of the staircase. All right, so with that, let's move on to bag number 4. the end of bag 4. So we have completed the front of the cabin with the doors and the windows. We've also installed the staircase. We've added windows in the back as well. And there's this really cool print piece that gets put above the front door. I really love that all of the graphic pieces are printed in this set. There's no stickers whatsoever. Here's some other details of the ground floor. And it looks like we'll be continuing on with the ground floor. So let's get into bag 5. So that was the end of bag 5. We completed some more interior details with these chairs and this little desk and typewriter. We also completed some of the front paneling and the back paneling. I think we're getting close to being done with the first floor, and then we're going to start building up on the second floor here in the next bag or two. Looks like bag 6, though, we are going to be working on the front porch area that's going to attach here somehow. But again, that is the end of bag 5. Let's move on to bag 6. All right, so we got that completed. We got a little squirrel here, and there's a little frog tucked under there, and some mushrooms. Looks pretty cool. So now we are going to attach it just like that. And now we got a front porch. It's an egg. And it's an interesting chair build using whips for the arms. It's kind of cool. And yeah, the butterflies are very nice as well. Okay, that is it for bag 6. So we've added some details onto the back. So we got that. We've got a shovel, an outdoor shower, the chimney, some gauges, a tank of some sort, possibly like propane or something for heating. And then we've also got the front porch done with butterfly detail, these nice little steps, and then the railing. We also added this little magnifying glass to this bin here. So now we are on to bag 7. Alright, so we got like a little wood cache here. It's pretty nifty. Now it looks like we're going to start building the tree. All right, so that is what that looks like, and we are going to repeat this 6 times. So I will do the other 5, and then I will come back and we'll go on to the next step. All right, that is the 6th one. All right, so there's our completed tree. I think it turned out pretty good. We got a little bird up there. We got another little butterfly down here. I think this turned out pretty good. It is a little tricky, like trying to match the picture, but you know what? Just you can pivot these little branches and things until you get it to look how you want it to look. There's really no hard and fast rule here. Just play around with it, arrange it until it looks good to you. All right. So not only does that end bag 7, that also ends book 1. But first, let's go ahead and attach this. So this one is going to go... So this is the front of the cabin. As you're looking at the front of the cabin, this one is going to the left. And we are just going to hook this in just like that. All right, so now let's move on to book number 2 and bag number 8. All right, so this is interesting. We haven't seen this in a little bit, but we actually have multiple of the same number. So we haven't seen that in a while. Usually in the newer sets, it's one bag per number. But in older sets, and this set is a couple years old, it's been out a while. In older sets, it was pretty common to have multiple bags of the same number. So interesting that this is one of those. So it looks like we have 2 more minifigures. This one is great. The nice detailing on the torso, and then we've got the dual printed leg. There's some detailing on the back and an alternate face. This one gets the blonde hair. So there we go. This one has nice sweater detail and a little bag over her shoulder. And again, we have alternate faces. And we have front and back printing, a nice sweater pattern. And this one gets the darker hair. All right, and there's that one. and that is the end of bag 8. So we pretty much have the second floor put together. Some nice little details. That bed looks super comfy, actually. We got a little treasure map here, a cup, a little picture above the bed, and then on this end, above the stairs, we have a little bookshelf with a little statue and some books. All right, so let's move on to bag 9. Ooh, it looks like for this step we have a ooky spooky spider. No thank you. So it looks like he lives right up here. All right, that is the end of bag 9. And we have completed the second floor. So we have both the first floor and the second floor of our A-frame cabin complete. And I'm going to go ahead and take off this little side tree here. Now, what I'll probably end up doing, because these do not grip, these little blue pegs, it just helps to line it up. I'm going to replace it with, I'm probably going to replace it with two of these Technic pins, and that way it'll lock it in there. So every time you move this, the tree won't go sliding around, because we're going to put another one on this side, and it's going to do the exact same thing. But again, we have the inside of the cabin complete and the first and second floor, and we are moving on to bag 10. All right, and just like bag 8, we have 2 bag 10s. So here we are at bag 10, and I think I'm going to do this a little bit differently. What we're doing is we're building both of the side walls, and so we're doing this entire thing twice. However, it's split over 2 bags of parts. So rather than use half of these parts and then open bag 11 and use half of those parts and then go back and build the whole thing again, I'm going to build both parts using all of the bag 10 parts. So we'll have 2 incomplete walls. Then we'll open bag 11 and finish both walls. All right, so let's get going. Okay, that is the end of bag 10. Now it wants us to open bag 11, but rather than do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside, build the other one of this out of the rest of the bag 10 parts, and then we'll open bag 11 and we'll do the rest of both of the pieces. Okay, so we have the other one complete. I figured you didn't need to watch. It's literally the exact same build, so I didn't think you needed to watch me build it all over again. So here are the two walls after we've used all the parts from bag number 10. So now we're going to move on to bag 11 and finish building the walls. So for bag 11, we actually have 3 bags. All right, so we've got all 3 bags open. So let's get into bag 11 and finishing these walls. Okay, so that is one complete wall. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this one, and then we'll be back. I'm not going to make you watch me do that one. It's exactly the same as this one. One thing I didn't mention on the other wall was the way that these window pieces go in is a very interesting building technique. So you've got the studs on the inside here, and you've got a space here, but this side is smooth. So you're literally just putting the top in, and then you're kind of pushing in and pushing down at the same time, and it just wedges in there. It's super interesting. Normally, in something like this, you would just build the window into this hole as you're building the wall. So this is a very interesting technique. I mean, and it gives you a nice sort of, a frame, a little windowsill frame detail. So I think it's super interesting. Again, you just sort of line the front or the edge of this up, and at the same time, you just push in while you're pushing down. And yeah, super interesting. I mean, it looks really nice as well. Okay, so there are bags 10 and 11 done, and both of our walls. And we are going to fit these in. The way this works, these little angle pieces are going to line up with this, and then these curved pieces are going to line up with this. So we're just going to set that in there. And that's it. It's just gravity holding those on there. So that is the cabin and the roof done. So let's move on to bag number 12. Oh my gosh, it's a little otter. Okay, and that is the end of bag 12. So now let's move on to lucky bag number 13. Okay, so here is one tree, and as apparently is the theme of this build, we are going to build another one just like it. So I will bring you back when we have the other tree built. All right, so there is our second tree. And then on to the finishing touches. So we're going to put these in the base, just like so. Okay, so that is it for bag 13. And we're going to move on to bag 14. Here's our first leaf element. And again, as is popular in this build, we are going to repeat this 5 times. So I will bring you back when we have the rest of them completed. Okay, so there are the 5 completed. So now we are going to put them on, and not that it matters, but just so we match the picture, we're going to turn this top this way, and we're going to turn this top this way. Okay, so these are going on this tree. All right, this is our next leaf element, and we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So I will bring you back when I get the other 2 complete. All right, so there are the 3 new elements. All right, so we've got those attached, and now we are going to... So we're going to make 2 more elements. Okay, so there is one tree finished. And that's all of bag 14. So let's move on to the leaf elements for bag 15. All right, so there's our leaf element. And of course, we're going to repeat this 4 more times. So I will bring you back when we have all of our elements completed. All right, so there are our completed leaf elements so far. So let's bring over our tree. Okay, so there's those. And now we're going to make 3 more large leaf elements. So I will bring you back when we have those completed. All right, we're back, and we have our 3 elements completed. This is going to go on our remaining branches here. All right, so we just need to put our finishing touches up here. So we're going to create 2 more leaf elements. All right, here are our completed leaf elements. Okay, so there is that. And now we're going to create the final element for the top branch. And there we have the completed trees. So just like our tree that we built a while ago that goes on the other side of the cabin, we have a bluebird in this tree. And on this one, we are going to have this red bird. Is it an oriole, maybe? Okay, so where are we going to place him? Ah, here we go. So let's put him right here. Okay, great. And then we're going to take our 2 oars, put those in the barrel. All right, so I missed a step. I launched right into building those trees, and the first step of bag 15 was filling up this box. So it looks like we've got some life jackets. And then we have our canoe, and it is going to sit there. Those 2 black posts, which you can't see under the leaves, but I will tip this up. So it is going to sit on these 2 black posts, just like so. All right, so that completes this build. So let's put it all together. All right, so there we have the completed A-frame cabin. So let's go ahead and take off the trees. Again, this one just slides right out. And this one also just slides right out. And now we have the cabin. And we can take off the walls and turn this around. And we can see the inside. So we have the downstairs, which has a little sitting area and a kitchen and a little desk with a typewriter. We go to the back and we see again this outdoor shower. And then we have a fuel source for the stove and some gauges. And we turn this around, and then we have another view here. You can see the seating area. And this is where the back tree element with the canoe and everything. And here is the front porch. We have a nice table with a cup and a lantern, a chair with a little portable stove with a frying egg in it. So that comes with 4 minifigures, which we looked at during the build. So my final thoughts on this set, all in all, I think it looks great. It is a great set. There's lots of cool details. And hands down, the building techniques are out of this world. Especially, we went over, we have these windows that are just sort of, they're only clipped in at the top and they're just sort of wedged in there. I think the trees are beautiful. They're probably the best trees of any set, at least in my opinion. I mean, the color variation is nice, but I think they look really great, and they're very detailed with the leaf elements. Now, for the cons, the main con for me, there is a lot of repetition in this set. And it starts very early with bag 2. We built this side of the porch, and then we built this side, and it continued with the walls. And then, especially with the side walls, they were literally the exact same part that you're just building twice. And then the trees, also the leaf elements repeated. Sometimes we built 5, then we built 6, then we built 3. So there is a lot of repetition. Having said that, I think the end result, it's really great. I mean, this set looks really great. And it's been out for a while. So, if you really like this set, I would consider getting it before the end of the year. It may retire. I'm not really sure, though. Do your Google search, check the rumors and all that. Oh, the other thing, too, that I really like, the birds, the butterfly, and, of course, the little otter. I mean, that's just great. The pros, lots of great details. The trees are amazing. The wildlife is great. The cons, there's a bit of repetition. But other than that, definitely recommend this set. Well, thank you so much for joining me on that build. I did a little research, and when I was talking about retiring, I said that the set had been out for a couple of years, and that is not true. I looked it up, and it was just released on February 4th, 2023. So it has not been around that long, but it is correct. I did a Google search, and according to Jay's Brick blog and a couple other sources as well, it is on the rumored retired list for 2024. So it could be going away by the end of the year. And the other thing I wanted to mention was, please don't get hung up on my negative critique about the build being repetitive. Yes, there are parts that are repetitive, but I do think, as I said in the video, the end result, it's ultimately worth it. I mean, the model looks great. You can see it over my shoulder here. The trees are just wonderful, and all the different little wildlife you get, the squirrel, the frog, the otter, the butterflies, the birds. It really is a very fun build, and the end result is great. So I really do hope that you consider purchasing it, or maybe you already have it and it's sitting in your backlog. Go ahead and bust that box open and get it built. Put it on display. It's a really good display piece. I would also like to take this opportunity to suggest some other content that you might enjoy. I will put a link in the description to the review playlist so you can see other Lego reviews that I've done so far. Also, if you're curious about part work models at all, I'm building the Back to the Future DeLorean part work model and Lego model at the same time. I publish those episodes on Tuesdays. So I will put a link in the description box to those as well. So if you want to check those out. And as always, please, I would be forever grateful if you would like this video, share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel, comment below. Let's have some discussions around some of these really interesting Lego sets. And until we see each other again, as always, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.